Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Yambakam yajamahe, Sugandhim pushtivardhanam, Urvarukamiva bandhanan, Mrityormukshiyama.
Sahanavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviyam Karavavahai Tejasvi Navadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityoma Mritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Good evening. How are you all doing? All of you keeping well? బాగా నేర్చుకుంటున్నారు language? Are you happy? Do you get the joy of learning? No, it doesn't seem you get the joy of learning. You're finding it a burdensome, troublesome activity. Today we are all result oriented. We are all product oriented. We are all outcome oriented. We are not process oriented. We are product oriented. Swamiji says, perfect the means, the end will take care of itself. You know, in Sanskrit there are two words, sadhana, sadhya. Sadhana, sadhya. Sadhana is a method. Sadhana is the means. Sadhana is the effort. And then there is an outcome of the effort. There is a result. There is a phala, fruit. That is sadhya. Our focus and concentration is only on sadhya. Because we have only one mind. Your mind is so focused on sadhya, the outcome, it can't be focused on the sadhana. And then the result will not come. Sadhya will happen only when the sadhana is perfect. If the sadhana is imperfect, sadhya will not come. When the means are imperfect, the end will not come. The end will not happen. So you need to focus only on the means. So whatever that you do in life, it must give you joy. Then you will not feel the burdensomeness of the work. Otherwise, it becomes a kind of drudgery, where you have to compel the mind. You have to force the mind on the work that you do. You are doing it, but you don't like to do it. You don't love to do it. But you are compelled to do it. Most of the times, this is the thing. Even students who prepare for competitive examinations, the process, it doesn't give them any joy because they're interested only in the job. I told you already, work for the sake of work, duty for the sake of duty, and knowledge for the sake of knowledge. Okay? You should have passion for knowledge, that's all. jobs and getting good pay packs, they all will happen. As a student, you should only have one thing, okay? Passion for knowledge. And then a little orientation towards the exam. In different exams of different types, a little orientation is required. That's all. Passion for knowledge, a little orientation towards the exam. That's all for you to achieve some success in life. Concentration is a huge problem today. Why you think actually such a huge problem? Because you are not doing it out of love. You're doing it out of compulsion. I need a job. That's the reason I have to study. They say you have to force my mind all the time. It doesn't get focused there. You see in the West, now in India also it's the same. 5 days they work very hard. then they need a weekend. 2 days they have to relax. 5 రోజులు చాలా కష్టపడి పని చేస్తారు. 2 రోజులు విరామం కావాలి. But if you love the work that you do, you don't need any holiday. You don't have to relax. You don't seek it. 14 hours you work, 16 hours you work. You will not get tired. It will not create any fatigue in you. Okay? అలసట అనేట్టు ఉండదు, మనకు రాదు. అలసట ఎప్పుడు వస్తుందంటే you're forcing the mind. You're forcing the mind, there will be friction, and then naturally you'll get exhausted quickly. But if you don't force the mind loves the work that it's doing. You will never get exhausted. You may work for 14 hours or 16 hours a day. So why that is happening? I don't love the work that I do, but I have to do it because I need a salary. ఇది అందుకని మైండ్ ఎగ్జాస్ట్ అయిపోతుంది. అందుకని మనకి రిలాక్సేషన్కి 2 రోజులు కావాలి వీక్లో. Otherwise, there are people who work for 365 days, but you don't see them get exhausted. మన ఇంట్లో అమ్మలు ఉంటారు, ఇప్పుడు ఎగ్జాస్ట్ అయిపోయారా? 365 ఆదివారాలు పండుగలు వస్తే ఇంకెక్కువ పని చేయాలి, అవునా? They work more on holidays and Sundays. Holiday for you, but not for mother. Mother has no rest. But that kind of work she does for 25 to 30 years, right? You have seen it in our own families. Do they get exhausted? Because they do that for love. With a mother at home, for her, husband and children are an extension of her own body. Husband and children are extension of her own body. She thinks that she is doing it for herself. Children, she doesn't consider as separate beings. I'm doing it for somebody else. Husband, she doesn't consider a separate being. She doesn't think that he is separate. She thinks all the family members are part of her own self. She thinks she is doing it for herself. She doesn't get exhausted. She doesn't get tired. 365 days, same routine, day after day, day after day. Nowadays, they're doing the jobs also. They have to manage the home. They have to manage children. They have to do job. The life for women actually has become so burdensome in 21st century. Men only, they do outthings. Nowadays, a few people are helping them in daily chores, but not many. See, that's what actually 365 days she works, but still she doesn't get exhausted because she knows that she's working for herself. Family members are just an extension of her own body. No, it all depends on, that's all. So that's what I'm saying is, if you learn to do the work that you do with love, whatever it may be, maybe mopping the floor, sweeping the floor, but to do it with Shraddha, do it with love, consider it as a sacred activity. ఇది ఒక పవిత్ర కార్యం అని భావించారనుకోండి, మీకు అలసట రాదు, మీకు అలుపు రాదు. పని వలన, పనిలో నుంచే మనకు రిలాక్సేషన్ వస్తుంది, ప్రేమతో చేస్తున్నాం కాబట్టి. సో ఇట్స్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ టు లెర్న్ ద వర్క్ దట్ యు డూ, however simple it may be, with love. Then the concentration problem will not come. Efficiency will come. You'll be able to do it with great efficiency. సామర్థ్యాలు ఇనుమడిస్తాయి కూడా, కంపిటెన్సీస్ పెరుగుతాయి. ఆ వర్క్ నుంచే మనకు సాటిస్ఫాక్షన్ వస్తుంది. లేకపోతే even if you become the prime minister of the country, if you don't love the work that you do, your mind will get exhausted very quickly and it doesn't give you any joy. So it is a focus and concentration that gives us joy. So what are the little work that you do? Learn to do with love. Attention will come automatically. Concentration problem రాదు, ప్రేమ ఉంది కాబట్టి అక్కడ. So it's a love. Only when love greases its wheels, karma becomes sweet, work becomes sweet. When there is no grease of love, it's a constant friction. Work is a constant friction. Thank you. This much for today. Thank you.